What happens when the woman who owns everything loses the ability to walk? When fake friends vanish and only the poor housekeeper she mistreated stays loyal? A story of pride, fall, and the unexpected love that taught a billionaire the true meaning of wealth. Sit back, relax, and let your heart follow every twist and turn of this beautiful story as it gently unfolds before your eyes. The loud crash of breaking glass broke the quiet morning. "You useless fool!" Adaobi shouted angrily. She stood at the dining room door in her shiny robe, looking very angry but calm. She stood tall and strong like a boss. Chidi got down on his knees and slowly picked up the broken pieces of the vase. It had cost more money than he made in a whole year. A sharp piece cut his hand, but he didn't cry or get mad. He just looked down and kept cleaning quietly. "I'm sorry, madam. It was an accident," he said, his voice soft yet steady. Adaobi walked closer, careful not to step on the broken glass. "An accident? Is that what you call breaking something so special?" she said. She walked around Chidi like a lion. "Do you even know how much that vase cost?" "More than I could earn in 10 years, madam," Chidi replied honestly. Her bitter laugh echoed in the big room. "At least you understand your place." From the kitchen doorway, another maid watched with wide eyes before quickly disappearing. The staff knew better than to witness Adaobi's wrath directly. Adaobi's phone made a sound. She looked at it, and for a moment, her face became a little softer. "Clean this up right now, and get the East Wing ready for guests tonight." She started to walk away but stopped. "Oh, and if my breakfast is cold again tomorrow, you won't work here anymore." "Yes, madam." "It won't happen again." Her nice perfume stayed in the air as she walked away, her shoes making a clicking sound like she was the boss. Chidi kept picking up the glass, being careful and neat. Sarah the cook came out of hiding after Adaobi left. "I saw everything. It wasn't your fault. She bumped the table when she walked by." Chidi shook his head a little. "It doesn't matter who did it. How do you put up with it?" Sarah whispered, bending down to help him. "She's treated you like this for 3 years. I've only been here 6 months, and I'm already thinking of leaving." "The pay is good," Chidi said simply, but his eyes looked toward where Adaobi went. "There's more to life than money," Sarah insisted. Chidi gave a small smile like he knew something. "That's true, and people are more than what they show." Sarah rolled her eyes. "Not her. She's exactly what she looks like. Cold, mean, and lonely," Chidi said softly. "What?" Chidi stood, glass fragments collected in a cloth. "Look around, Sarah. 16 rooms in this mansion. Designer everything. 4 luxury cars. But have you ever seen anyone visit who actually cares about her? Not her money or connections, her?" Through the open door, they saw Adaobi in her study, holding her phone to her ear, laughing at something the caller said. But when she hung up, her smile disappeared. Her face looked so sad it was hard to watch. "She has everything," Chidi said softly, "but nothing that really matters." Sarah shook her head, not believing it. "You're too nice sometimes." Chidi was about to speak, but Adaobi's voice called from her study. "Chidi, where are those papers I asked you to bring?" He straightened his old uniform, put away his thoughts, and walked toward her voice. "I'm coming, madam." Behind him, the big house looked cold and fancy, a beautiful cage for a woman who had everything money could buy, but had forgotten to see the things money can't buy. That evening, the big house felt like it was alive. The loud music made the walls shake, walls that were built for quiet songs, not loud beats. In the big hall, people danced under bright lights that cost more than most homes. Adaobi came out of the crowd, holding a fancy glass with bubbly drink spilling a little. She laughed loudly like she had practiced it. Emeka pulled her close and put his hand on her hip like he didn't want to let go. "To the most beautiful woman in Lagos," Emeka said loudly so everyone could hear. He smiled big and tapped his glass against hers. "And the kindest too." "You haven't seen kind yet," Adaobi said softly, touching his face with her finger. The shiny diamond on her bracelet sparkled and made little rainbows on his face. Close by, a senator's wife whispered to her friend while staring at Adaobi. Her third boyfriend this year, each one younger, each one wanting more from her. Chidi walked through the crowd like he wasn't even there. No one noticed him unless they needed something. He carried a heavy tray full of empty glasses, moving carefully between dancing people and loud talk. He kept his eyes down and listened quietly. A glass broke near Chidi's feet. The man who did it had red eyes and a messy tie. He snapped his fingers in Chidi's face. "Hey boy, clean this up before someone gets hurt," the man said, laughing. "And bring more ice. The party's just starting." Chidi quietly bent down to pick up the broken glass. His uniform was already wet from spilled drinks. "Why do you let them talk to you like that?" Sarah whispered when they passed each other near the kitchen. "These people don't respect anyone." Before Chidi could answer, he heard loud voices near the terrace doors. Emeka was there with two friends, laughing loudly over the music. "You should see what she gave me last week," Emeka said, showing off his shiny gold and platinum watch. "Limited edition, only 10 in Africa." "Wow, you're living the dream," his friend said, patting him on the back. "How long are you going to keep this going?" Emeka gave a sneaky smile as he looked around for Adaobi. "I'll stay as long as she keeps giving me stuff," he said. "She thinks presents will make me stay loyal." He laughed. Women like her are easy to guess. They feel empty inside and try to feel better with people who fake love. "And the beach house? Did she say yes?" "Next month it's mine," Emeka said with a big grin. "Then maybe I'll go on a long vacation and never come back." Chidi felt like he had been hit by rocks. He stood still, holding the ice bucket, feeling angry, not for himself, but for Adaobi, who could buy anything except real love. Across the room, Adaobi held up her glass again and smiled. But her eyes looked sad. For a moment, she looked at Chidi. Something passed between them, like they both understood something. Then she turned away and kept pretending to be happy. Morning light came through the curtains like it was telling off the house. The living room was a big mess, bottles on the floor, food smashed into the fancy carpet, and chairs out of place. Adaobi walked in at noon, looking tired. Her fancy dress from last night was wrinkled, and one strap had slipped off her shoulder. Her makeup was messy, like she had been crying. "Good morning, madam," Chidi said softly as he picked up bottles. She covered her ears and winced. "Is it still morning?" She dropped onto the couch and put her arm over her eyes. "My head really hurts." "It's just after noon," he said. "Would you like some coffee?" "I'd like a new brain," she joked, trying to sit up while looking at the big mess. "Was it worth it? Did everyone have fun?" The question sounded like she was feeling something he didn't expect. "They seemed to, madam." She nodded and looked around. "Where's Emeka? Did he stay here?" Chidi took a moment before answering. "He left around 5 this morning. With some friends." "Of course he did." A sad look came across her face, but she quickly covered it up. "Make me some food. And coffee. Strong coffee." "Right away, madam." As Chidi turned to go, she called his name. "Chidi?" He stopped. "Yes, madam." For a moment, Adaobi didn't look so strong. She looked unsure, almost like a child. "Next time," she said, rubbing her head. "Next time, don't let me drink so much, even if I say I want to." "I'll try, madam," Chidi said. When she was alone, Adaobi looked at the messy room. It showed how she tried to feel better by throwing a big loud party. From the doorway, Chidi watched quietly. He saw the truth. Adaobi wasn't as strong as she looked. Inside, she felt just as broken as the glasses on the floor. Silver moonlight shone through the big windows, making shadows in the fancy living room. The clock ticked past midnight, and every sound was loud in the quiet after the party. Chidi carefully cleaned up the mess. He picked up the crystal glasses from tables and corners, making sure not to drop them. His shoulders hurt from working all night, but he kept going. After 3 years of working, he knew how to keep going even when he was tired. Chidi heard footsteps on the marble floor and stopped. Emeka's voice came through the French doors, sounding louder than usual. "Bro, just relax," Emeka laughed, his shape visible against the dark sky. "This girl is lucky. She has so much money." Chidi stopped moving, holding a glass. He slowly put it down on the tray, listening carefully. "You think I like all this craziness?" Emeka said, his voice quieter but still clear. "The parties? All the drama? She's too much. Always wanting to know where I am and who I'm with." Emeka leaned on the railing, the moonlight making his smile look perfect. I just have to deal with her little problems for now. Then I'll get what I want and leave. Chidi's hand shook a little as he held the bottle. He put it down carefully, not wanting to miss anything. How much longer? Emeka's friend asked on the phone. The question felt loud in the quiet night. Maybe another month at most, Emeka said, laughing coldly. Once she signs those papers for the money transfer. He whistled quietly. After that, neither of us will have to work. I've already picked out a beach house in Zanzibar. Chidi gripped the tray tightly, his hands shaking. He looked at the big stairs leading to Adaobi's room. She was up there, probably sleeping, dreaming of a life with a man who only saw her as a way to get money and fancy clothes. A memory came to him. Adaobi, after her last boyfriend had hurt her. She wore dark sunglasses for days, saying she had a headache. But the redness around her eyes and the way her hands shook showed she was really sad. That man had taken her money. What Emeka planned seemed even worse. I should tell her, Chidi thought, stepping closer to the stairs without realizing it. But another memory made him stop. How angry she had been the last time he tried to help her. You're just the housekeeper, she had yelled, her words hurting him. Clean the floors and mind your own business. Who do you think you are? Do you think someone like you understands relationships like us? The sting of those words still hurt. Chidi's feet felt heavy as he kept cleaning, his mind racing. On the balcony, Emeka was still talking, laughing about how easy it was to make Adaobi change her money plans. The best part? Emeka lowered his voice. She thinks it was her idea. That's how you do it, bro. Plant the idea and let them think they came up with it. There was more laughing, more talking. Chidi worked quietly, each word from the balcony making him feel heavier inside. By the time he finished cleaning, the sun was rising over Legos. The first light made the mansion's fancy furniture look even shinier. Chidi stood at the bottom of the stairs, looking up at Adaobi's room. It felt like something heavy was pressing down on him. What if this time is different, he thought. Remembering how much Adaobi trusted Emeka, she shared everything with him. Not just her home, but her business too. What if it's worse than last time? He took a step up the stairs, then stopped. The sunlight touched the marble steps, but it didn't make Chidi feel any better. Behind him, Emeka had stopped talking, but the hurt feeling stayed, like bad air in the beautiful house. Chidi's hand tightened on the banister. Tomorrow, he decided. Tomorrow he would find the courage to tell her, no matter the consequences. Caring for someone sometimes meant risking everything, even if they might never understand why. The mansion grew quiet as morning fully arrived, but the silence felt heavy with unspoken warnings and the ticking clock of Emeka's plans. The next morning, Adaobi sat alone at the big table, looking small with 12 empty chairs around her. The light from her phone made her face glow as she used her finger to scroll through messages. She wore fancy silk pajamas that probably cost more than Chidi's whole month's pay, and her hair was neatly wrapped in a fancy scarf. Chidi took a deep breath and walked forward, the sound of silverware making a noise. Your breakfast, madam, he said, his voice softer than he meant. Adaobi replied, not looking up. She was busy with her phone. A small smile appeared when she saw a message from Emeka. The thought made Chidi feel nervous inside. He carefully placed the tray in front of her. Instead of walking away, he stayed next to her chair. He shifted his feet as he forgot the words he had practiced to say. After a few seconds, Adaobi looked up, one eyebrow raised. Is there something else? She asked, her voice sounding like she was in charge. Madam, Chidi swallowed hard, his throat dry. I need to tell you something important. Adaobi went back to looking at her phone. If it's about the pipes in the East Wing, I already called someone. They'll come on Thursday, she said, not really paying much attention. No, madam, it's not that, Chidi said quietly, almost like a whisper, making her listen carefully. It's about Emeka. She slowly put her phone down. Adaobi's eyes, usually bright, now looked serious and focused. She turned her phone face down on the table, and the soft sound echoed in the quiet room. What about Emeka? She asked, her voice sounding heavy. Chidi held his hands behind his back to stop them from shaking. Last night, he started, trying to sound calm, even though he didn't feel calm. After the party, I heard him talking on the phone on the balcony. And? Adaobi asked, her voice sharp. He said he's only with you because of your money. The words came out before he could stop them. He called you a jackpot. He said he needs about a month more, then he's planning to do something with your money before he leaves. He said something about papers you'll sign. There was complete silence, and Chidi could hear the ticking of the big clock in the distance. Adaobi's breathing got fast, and her chest moved up and down quickly. She looked at his face, trying to see if he was lying. Then, suddenly, she slammed her hand on the table, and coffee splashed out of her cup, making a big stain on the clean tablecloth. "Stop!" she yelled, standing up and scraping her chair on the floor. "How dare you?" "Please, madam," Chidi begged, staying where he was even though he wanted to run. "I'm telling you because I care." "Care?" Adaobi laughed in a bitter way. "You think I need your care? You, who knows nothing about my life?" She walked closer to him, her voice getting very quiet and angry. "You think I don't know how people act in my world? You think you're the first servant to do this?" Chidi blinked, feeling confused instead of scared. "Try what, madam?" "To make my friends leave me. To make me feel alone and suspicious." Her eyes got sharp. "Let me be clear, Chidi. I don't pay you to care about me. I pay you to clean, cook, and stay in your place." Each word felt like a hit, but Chidi stayed strong. "Madam, I heard him with my own ears. He was laughing with his friend, saying you were his ATM, and that once you signed some papers—" "Enough," Adaobi shouted, her voice cracking for a second before she got angry again. "This is the last time I say this. Mind your business." She pointed to the door, her fingers shaking, even though she was standing straight. "If you ever talk about my life again, you will lose your job. Do you understand?" Chidi looked at her, really looking, and saw through her fancy clothes and perfect makeup to the fear underneath. Not fear of Emeka's lies, but fear of knowing that people only cared about her for what she could give them. "Yes, madam," he said quietly, looking down in surrender. "Now go away," she whispered, her voice shaking a little. Chidi turned and walked to the door, feeling sad and like he had failed. Just as he was about to leave, he heard a sound that made him stop, a chair scraping against the floor. Adaobi had fallen back into her chair, her hand shaking as she covered her mouth. She stared at the coffee stain, not moving. Her phone buzzed with a message, probably from Emeka, but she didn't look at it. She just stared at the stain, like it held a secret she didn't want to face. For a moment, Adaobi didn't look like a rich and powerful woman. She looked like someone scared of being alone, trying to use money to feel loved. Chidi turned away so she wouldn't see him watching her. As he walked through the quiet house, he felt like the truth was heavy and hurt. He had tried to help, but it didn't work. Now all he could do was wait and know that when everything fell apart, he would still be there to help fix it. That evening, thunder made loud sounds far away, like it was warning that a big storm was coming. A few minutes later, heavy rain fell and the streets of Lagos filled with water. Inside the big house, the lights made everything feel warm and safe, even with the storm outside. Adaobi came out of her room. She was wearing a red fancy dress that fit her body nicely. Her shiny earrings sparkled as she walked down the stairs, her high heels making clicking sounds on the floor. Chidi was fixing a lamp. He looked up and his eyes got big when he saw her dress. "Madam," he said, looking at the windows as lightning lit up the sky, "the storm is very strong." Adaobi looked at herself in the hallway mirror and put on some lipstick. "I didn't ask you about the weather," she said. "The roads are full of water," Chidi said, walking closer. "It's not safe. Maybe you should—" "Should what?" she said, turning to him with sharp eyes. "Cancel my plans because you're scared of a little rain?" "It's not just a little rain, madam," Chidi said, sounding more serious. "The weather people said it's very dangerous. Please wait until morning." Before he could say anything, she opened the front door and the rain made it hard for him to hear. With one last angry look, she stepped outside and slammed the door behind her. The house went quiet except for the loud rain hitting the windows. Chidi stood by the door, staring at it, feeling worried in his stomach. Days passed. The storm stopped, but Adaobi didn't come back. Chidi barely slept. He called hospitals, asked the guards, and even tried calling Emeka, but it went to voicemail. The house felt empty without Adaobi. A week later, the sun was shining, and Chidi heard the gate open. His heart raced as he ran to the window. An ambulance stopped in front of the house, and the driver opened the door. Chidi rushed outside and stopped when he saw what was happening. Adaobi was sitting in a wheelchair, her hair wet and her face pale. She wasn't wearing her fancy dress anymore, but a hospital gown. Her legs were wrapped in bandages and her hands shook as she held onto the wheelchair. "Madam," Chidi shouted, running down the steps. When Adaobi looked up, her eyes were red and puffy, and she didn't look proud anymore. Her lips trembled as she tried to talk. I can't feel my legs," she whispered, her voice sad. "The doctor said—" She started to cry. Without waiting, Chidi moved behind the wheelchair and told the driver to go away with a small nod. "I'll help you inside, madam," he said softly, his voice full of feeling. "You're home now." "Home," Adaobi said quietly as tears fell down her face. "What home? Emeka? He didn't come. Not once." She shook with silent cries. Nobody came. As Chidi carefully pushed her up the ramp, rainwater dripped off of them, both from the rain and from the tears they didn't say anything about. Weeks passed, the mansion grew quiet. No phone calls, no visitors. Adaobi sat by the window in her wheelchair, staring at the garden. She held her phone tightly. Her voice shook as she spoke. "Adaobi, sad and angry. Emeka, you ran away. You took everything from me and left me with nothing." She tries to call again. A cold robotic voice speaks. "The number you have dialed is not available." She screams and throws the phone. It hits the wall and breaks into pieces. Chidi enters, slowly holding a food tray. "Madam, please, you need to eat." Adaobi looks at him. Her eyes are full of anger, but deep down, she is broken. 3 years, and not even one call from him. Not even one. Chidi stays silent. He knows she's hurting. She turns her wheelchair toward him, looking straight into his eyes. "Adaobi, angry and serious. Why are you here? I told you to leave before the accident. I was mean to you." Chidi, gentle but brave. "Because you still need someone to help you." Adaobi stops and looks at him. She's quiet. For the first time, she really notices him. "Adaobi," softly, "I don't want you to feel sorry for me." Chidi takes a step closer, kindly but strong. "I'm not sorry for you. I care about you." A tear falls from Adaobi's eye. She turns away fast, but in the window, her face looks scared and sad. Chidi walks out quietly and shuts the door. He leans on it, closes his eyes. He feels sad too, just like her. Suddenly, his phone buzzes. A strange message shows up. Unknown number. "I know what really happened the night of the accident. It wasn't the rain. Tell Adaobi. The truth will cut her everything." Chidi's face goes pale. He looks very scared. Inside the room, Adaobi's phone rings. It's the same number. Her hand shakes as she picks it up. Creepy voice, soft and scary. "Hi, Adaobi. Can you walk now?" Adaobi's face turns white. She looks super scared. The car crash that took Adaobi's legs was no accident. Someone wanted her dead. And now they're back, watching her every move, ready to finish what they started. Will Chidi protect the woman who once treated him badly? Or will Adaobi face this new danger alone? The truth could destroy everything she has left. Don't miss the explosive continuation of Billionaire Woman Falls in Love with Her Housekeeper. The woman who had everything is about to discover what truly matters when her life hangs in the balance. Please subscribe now and turn on the bell so you never miss a moment of this powerful story. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.